How's it going? Craig Williams here from Team. We help thousands of people every year to think, eat and move better in pursuit of better image, better lifestyle and just generally being happier. Okay, so what I want to talk about here is what I discuss quite often in some of our nutrition briefs, and that's the idea of default eating, because the default setting for a lot of things nowadays is food. You know, we turn to food for so many different things. Now I had my own little weight loss journey, which if you've been to camp and you've listened to our nutrition brief, then obviously I'd have shared that with you. But basically, you know, what a lot of that boiled down to was creating default meals. So in this little series of videos, it's pretty much a follow-on from that, or you can use them as sort of standalone videos to help you sort of clean out your eating and all that kind of stuff. And I want to basically show you a couple of things. First of all, that eating doesn't have to take forever. It doesn't have to cost a fortune, and it doesn't have to be difficult, all right? So I'm going to keep it dead simple. And when I was putting my default meals together, the criteria was it had to be cheap, because I'm a tight northern monkey. It had to be easy, because I hate cooking at the best of times, okay? It needed to give me all the nutrients that I needed it to give me, and I needed to be able to get it like that, okay? So even some of the snacks when I'm out and about, you know, I can still get it, it's readily available, because if it's not, there's too many things that are going to jump into your path. You know, chocolate and cakes and all that kind of stuff is everywhere. And there's scientists out there that are studying human behaviour to make it so that we cannot not eat it for any length of time. All right. So a lot of this revolves around this idea of willpower. Now I always explain that willpower is a finite thing. We haven't got like an abundance of it. In fact, the longer we go throughout the day, the more and more, or the less and less willpower we've got. You've got to imagine it's like a cup in the centre of your chest, and every time you make a decision, it just tips a little bit of willpower out. All right. So every time you choose what colour socks you're going to put on, you choose what colour pants you're going to put on, you put your trousers on, you decide whether you're going to even get out of bed and go to work or anything like that. You're just using a little bit of willpower. So you'll find that when you get to the evening, okay, your willpower is pretty much rock bottom, okay, and this is where a lot of people will struggle, and then the default setting becomes, well, I'll just phone a pizza, or I'll get a Chinese, or I'll nip out to the drive-through, or just eat crap that's in the cupboards or whatever, okay. So willpower, you're never going to beat it, you're never going to have enough of it, okay, unless you can reduce some of the decisions that you make, and this is what this is pretty much about. It's about creating little default meals. And when I was losing weight and in total I lost about 4 stone, I had an A and a B breakfast, A and a B snacks, A and a B other meals. All right, and just having those things that you've thought about ahead of time, that you know you can get quickly, that you know you like the taste of, that you are within your budget, and you can, you know, it's dead easy and dead quick to do. You can get hold of them really easy. It just makes everything so much easier. All right, so that's what we're going to go through. The next thing I want to just remind people of is this idea of balanced eating, because people know they need to eat a balanced nutrition plan, if you like. But where they kind of go wrong is they try and balance it out over the week. So they'll sort of say, well, as long as by the end of the week I've had the right amount of protein, the right amount of carbs, right amount of fats, then all good. That's not really the case. The next best thing is people do it throughout the day. And in the Western world, we tend to have meat and 2 veg at the end of the day, and a real carb-heavy breakfast or a carb-heavy lunch. But what I want to try and teach, or what I try and get across to people, is that you need to have a balanced meal every time you eat. Every time, whether it's a snack or whatever, because if you don't, it's really going to sort of cause some big peaks and troughs in your blood sugar levels and therefore your insulin. Okay, and remember the focus of everything that we do at Team is that sugar is the enemy. Okay, that's the stuff that's killing us. That's the stuff that's getting us to pound on the excess weight, and that's the stuff that triggers the response in the body for us to store any excess weight as body fat. Okay, so in the next video we're going to go straight into some of the default breakfasts. So I'm going to cook a couple of breakfasts for you just to see how quick it is and how tasty it can be. Now some of it is going to go against the grain. You're going to think, well, you know, I'm quite happy with my special K or whatever, but this stuff is going to give you all this, you know, the balanced nutrition and all that kind of stuff. Probably save you a bit of time in the long run, but also give you, give your willpower a chance. You know, save a bit of willpower for when it gets tougher later in the day. So I'll see you in the next video.